Welcome back. Now we are in the extended primitives section. Here, in the previous lecture, I had shown you how we create boxes, cones, spheres, cylinders, and etc. You can see a standard primitives drop down right there. Let's just go into extended primitives. Now, extended primitives and all other drop downs that you see here are created from a very small building block, let's say the standard primitives. By default for us, so that we can use it directly instead of creating each and one and putting time and all. I generally call all of them together as extended primitives, basically like the doors, the windows, stairs. So I'll be showing you these three options. Let's start with extended primitives. In the extended primitives, you have, let's say, oil tank. What do you do with oil tank? Click, drag, get it back. Right. So this is your oil tank. Right. Next we have, let's say, a capsule. It's very similar looking to this oil tank. So we first make a sphere, then decide the height. So this is a capsule. If you remember from the 90s, you had Dragon Ball Z. It was a 2D program, but all of them looked like 3D capsule. Right, so let's just select all and delete. We can create a chamfer box. This is very useful. This is similar to the box we created in the standard primitives, but has a rounded edge to it. So same way, click and drag, get it here and get it on top, and then you move it back. So you have rounded edges in the corner, right? So look at this. Now what you can do is by putting in a lot of modifiers, you can create a cushion, a bean bag, a sofa. So you can create a lot of stuff with chamfer box. This is very useful. And all these over here, right? So let's just move on to, let's say, stairs. Select this, delete. Let's create a straight stair. Select the length, drag it right and get it on top. This way. It happens with 3 clicks. And see, you have your stair ready. You don't have to go and build one box and connect it one by one this way. It's already ready for you. Similarly, one of my favorites are the spiral stairs. So here you create a radius, get it on top. That's it. Select all, delete. Let's move on to windows. Z to zoom in and come back to your grid. We can create a fixed window. So we've given it too much depth. Let's just go into the modify panel and decrease this depth. Zoom in and you see a fixed window. This is the window that doesn't move from the name it suggests. So yeah, this way we can create a lot of other types of windows here. We can create doors. I'll show you one sliding door that is very useful. When you start off with 3D, a lot of times you start off building houses, and so this way you have your sliding door. We go into the modify panel to see how you slide the door. Over here you see open, that's showing 0% at present. We can increase this percentage to open it. Right now it's opening from the right side. Let's just go flip the side and it opens from the left side. Again, the thick one is moving. If we click on flip front back, the thin one moves and the thick one stays. This is a sliding door. This way you can create all of these objects in the create panel. Let's go back to standard primitives. Z to zoom in and get back to our grid. One short tip that I wanted to show you was, if I create a box and suppose I want to create another object on top of it, how do I do it? Normally what we would do is, let's say, a teapot, right? Now let's make a teapot here, and that's your teapot. Firstly, it's created not where we want it. It's not here, it's here. It's also a little bigger in size. So what we'll have to do is we'll have to go scale it a little bit, and then we take our move tool and get it one by one on top and try to match this way, right? The better way to do it, which is faster, is, let's just delete this. Go to your create panel, select teapot. When you select teapot, you have an auto grid checkbox that comes here. Click on it. It creates a temporary grid on any object that it sees. Alright, so look at this. it's assigning itself to the faces. So here we create, so you see a temporary grid that comes up. That's the grid I was talking about. So you see, let's consider this a table, then your teapot will be about this size, and you leave it. And it's already on the box itself. You don't have to do any movement or anything. So this was a short tip. Instead of making a new video out of it, I thought I'll just cover it in this video. Right? Let's just delete all this. In the next video, I'll show you how to create backgrounds for these viewports. When we put a background in a viewport, we are able to use some reference images to make some different shapes that we want. Alright, see you in the next lecture. Bye.